Hello everybody, about bringing up some more stuff, and today I'm driving to Cammy's. Gotta pull up the windows and get a move on. I gotta get a move on, everybody. I'm driving to Cammy's. Here's the deal. This is the time that this is happening, just for those Penguins of you that are relevant to this story. Today is Wednesday. Happy Peg Wednesday, everybody! It's Peg Wednesday! Oh, hooray! I'm driving from my doctor. I'm driving from my doctor to Cammy's today. And my doctor is actually my pediatrician. So, when I first moved here, when I was young, I had a doctor named Dr. Schlunt, and he was pretty awesome. And then he, disappeared. And he basically, he said, he's not being fired, you know? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But the UCLA health takeover has a bunch of changes that he doesn't necessarily like. And as such, he's not gonna, be there anymore. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And if we want to follow him, then we can go somewhere. You know, this is where to look. And we kind of looked and he wasn't there, so we found a different doctor. And this was, right as I was, just ending when you go see a pediatrician, you know? So I was, kind of aging out of it, but I have, 2-3 more visits left. So I meet this new lady, and she's freaking awesome, and she loves me, dude. She thinks I'm so funny and so nice. She's totally a huge fan. And so, you know, that's pretty cool. I like when people like me. And I've been going to see her, and last time I went, she was like, you know what, I can take you one more time. And so I was like, sure, I'll go one more time. I'm down, you know? And, so this was my one more time. I get here this time, she's like, I see patients until they're 22. When they're 22, that's the last year, so you can come one more time. So, I might. She's pretty awesome, and she makes it really easy and, pleasant. So, you know. But, the assistant today was, the same age as me, basically. He just, graduated UC Davis probably, a couple of years ago. He's a little bit older, I think, is what he said. And he's hoping to go to grad school. He's hoping to go to med school. But he also did psychology. And when I hear that somebody, went to Davis and did psychology, it, doesn't immediately make me think that they're a genius, you know? Which I think is sad. Maybe I should not be looking down on these people that went to UC Davis and did psychology. It's just, you know, I did psychology, and, I don't think it was that hard. But he must be smart because he seemed kind, you know? But anyways, I've done that, and now I'm driving out to Cammy's. For time, like I was gonna say, I saw Dusty yesterday for the first time this summer. She flew in 2 days ago. I saw her yesterday and we ate Maciel's. It was pretty awesome. And yeah, so today is Wednesday. I'm driving to see Cammy and her roommates, but really I'm driving to see Cammy. And then Tonight, late. No, sorry, tomorrow night, late. What? Tomorrow night, late, Kenzie is arriving to Irvine on Thursday. And on Friday, Cammy, Kenzie, Dusty, and I will all hang out. And on Saturday, Cammy, Kenzie, Dusty, and I will all hang out as well. So that's what I have going on this week. And it was really cool hanging out with Dusty. I went to Ebisu Life with her, which is this new, like, Japanese store in Alhambra. And, like, all their Instagram reels and stuff are like, you don't need to go to Japan, just go to Ebisu Life. And it's basically the same thing. You can get all the skincare products, and you can get all the cute plush toys, and you can get all the snacks, and it's all pretty cheap. And I was like, whoa, let's go. So I took Dusty to this new place, and it was pretty awesome. You know what? I'll give it up. Their advertisements were accurate. They have these, like, inexpensive, really cute, large Pikachu bowls, and they got wooden spoons, and they got friggin' Chikawa Land keychains. So that's pretty awesome, you know? That's pretty cool. Guys, I found out that golf and stuff, actually, their birthdays are really expensive. Like, not worth it expensive. Like, we'll go play golf, we'll play mini golf, but but I don't know that we'll do, like, the whole, I don't know that we'll end up doing the whole friggin', what's it called? I don't know that we'll end up doing the whole birthday thing. I don't think it's worth getting on that billboard. I think it's actually rich people that have their kids on the billboard for the birthday. Or maybe it's not. Maybe that's the whole thing. They're like, here is your gift, we're all going to sing. And then they have all the other parents, like, chip in a little bit, and then it's actually not that bad. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was expensive because it's, like, for adults. Maybe that's why, but whatever, man. I'm a little sick. You can probably hear it. I'm not actually sick anymore, but I'm a little mucusy. So my coughs when I cough are going to sound bad, and I know I sound a little bit nasally, but I'm mostly okay today. Like, I was good enough yesterday to hang out with Dusty, and today I'm better. So I was good enough to go to my doctor appointment. I'm gonna cough, guys, sorry. Yeah. So, there's this huge sale going on for, like, wait, am I turning off here? Yeah, I am. Cool. So, there's a huge sale going on at this store that sells a bunch of, like home goods, like pots and pans and, like, ceramic Dutch ovens, things like that, you know? So Cammy and I are going, and we're hoping to get some, like, good stuff. We're going to go at opening. We're going to be there when it opens for the big sale. And we're, like, really excited because we're moving in together real soon. Like, within the month. Okay, actually, it's not within this month, but it's within a month's worth of time. Which is interesting. I guess that's what within the month means. I guess, like, if you said within the month on the 21st, it would mean, like, this week, right? Or would it mean, like, in less than 3 weeks? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it changes depending on when during a month you say it. So if you say it on, like, the 25th of February, maybe it's obviously, like, I don't know, there may be more contextual factors here at play. Maybe within the month means within a month. No, within a month exists. You would say within a month. Oh, God. But, within the month probably is more synonymous to by the end of this month. Synonymous with, I should say, instead of to. Well, I have a lot to talk about. I went to West Virginia for a trip to visit my Nana, my mom's mom. Her husband, my grandpa, recently passed away, so this was really a funeral trip. But we were also going to just see Nana, support her, and see the rest of the family when we were spreading the ashes, you know? And it was a really good trip. It was really fun. It was nice to see Nana. We had a lot of fun just hanging out with her. And I did a lot of work to, like, help her kind of move some stuff so that she could move out to find a new place. She has this huge, let's say, entertainment center. She has this, like, big TV table, right? And the TV is not on the TV table. The TV is affixed to the wall. But there's a big table. It's, like, huge. It's beautiful. It's, like, extremely nice. And within it, there are, like, infinite CDs, Blu-ray movies, DVD movies, Wii games, a Wii, a VCR, a Blu-ray player, and some VHSs, just a bunch of stuff, man. And she's like, I don't know what any of this is. Because Grandpop is the one who is more, like, interested in tech and movies and stuff. If he was born in our generation, he would have been a gamer. Cammy knows this. When I was there, you know, I used to play Wii Tanks with him when I was a kid. So, the things I took, because Nana was like, make sure you take some stuff, you know? And I was like, don't worry, I already have. I took a black nunchuck for the Wii, and I took the Wii Play Disc that we always used to play with together. And I'll probably never play with it again, right? Like, if I'm going to play Wii Play, the odds of me just procuring a copy and loading it onto my Wii instead of using this disc are a lot higher, let's say. Are very high, I should say, to salvage my grammar. Listen, I'm not a huge stickler for grammar, but I really like to have proper grammar when I speak. Well, you know, I'm not gonna, like, you know, like that last sentence that ended in when I speak was technically not grammatically correct, but it also wasn't, like, incorrect. It was just kind of, like, run-on-ish. And that's fine, because I'm speaking, but I don't want to, like, use the wrong conjunctions and things like that, you know? So yeah. Anyway, Penguin. So I got the black nunchuck, and I got the Wii Play Disc, and I took the wrist strap off of one of the Wii remotes, and I'm using it as a phone charm. It's like the cutest phone charm ever. I love it so much. I think it's so freaking cool. And yeah, that's what's up. So I have that on my phone. But yeah, I always used to play We Play Tank with Grandpa, and that was really fun. And when I went over there with Cammy, when I visited with Cammy in Tennessee, which was like one of the last times I visited him, you know, may have been, no, I visited one more time, but he was like bedridden, right? Yes. I visited one more time, but he was bedridden, and it was like, you know, not the same. Well, I gotta get over one. But there's a Porsche. I'm certainly not merging when there's a Porsche. I'll let the Porsche go. I'm not getting anywhere near a car that expensive. I'm not getting anywhere near a car that expensive. I had to let them pass. Okay? And it looks beautiful, okay? This car looks good. It's clean. It's like a nice matte wrap, but it's a little shiny. This is a really pretty looking car. Listen, I'm not the type to feel that way. I'm not the type to feel like a car looks really good. This car looks good, man. This is a cool looking car. Well, okay, so, what am I? I'm gonna cough, volume down. Yeah, so, when I went with Cammy, I played Cuphead, because I still hadn't beaten Cuphead at that point. Actually, I might have beaten it while I was there. And he was, like, super interested, and it made me realize that I was kind of thinking of him as, like, an old sick person, and not as my grandpa. And so that changed. That shifted immediately, you know? I was like, oh, cool. This is, like, very much him, you know? Like, he's very much still himself. I want to blow my nose when I'm driving. If there's, like, a good spot, I mean, there's not going to be a good spot. Not until I get to Irvine. But is it okay for another hour to feel like this? Yes. Because sometimes the feeling goes away, like right now. But yeah, so it was really cool because he was super interested. He was like, wow, that looks really hard. I'm like, you know? And I think he actually tried once or twice. And he was like, that's just too hard. I was like, you're right, man. It is too hard. Because I remember I beat the dragon boss while I was there. And I remember that I was on King Dice when I was there, like or on the devil fight, I should say, not King Dice. No, I remember being on King Dice, too. So I beat, like, a good few bosses while I was there. But yeah, that was just, like, a really cool moment to share, because it was like, Cammy could see, like, who he was, you know? And he was very much himself through the end. Like, even when he was bedridden and it wasn't the same, like, when you talked to him, his voice was so different, but he would still, like, speak with the same inflection, you know? It was really nice, because he was, like, the same fella, through and through. Well, I would love to get in front of this truck, but it feels a little dangerous. Instead, I'm going to get in front of this bug. Oh, maybe I'm not, because everyone else stopped. And they're filling the gap! They're not letting me in! And now they're waving me in like an asshole. Oh, man. That one stayed in. Sorry, Penguin. It's rated R because I'm sick. She just kind of gave me this look. And maybe it's because I was kind of like half in, half out of her lane. But, you know, whatever. I'm going to try to get away from her anyways. Because I gotta get as far left as I can right now. But there are freaking cement mixer trucks in front of me. In front and to my left. So I can't even get over very well. Oh, actually, I'm not supposed to get over too far left. That's funny. Oh, there's a big gap right now. Wait, there's another big gap. What? What's happening? Oh! That's sick, man. That's awesome. I just got to friggin' merge over for free. That was awesome. All the traffic just, like, disappeared. And around me. In, like, a radius. It's like I used my laser beam. And it's going around in a circle. Like, it started on the far right in my head. And it went around to the front. So it's going counterclockwise. And then I destroyed all the cars. And then there's no more traffic. I caught up to the traffic. I'm completely stopped. Now would be a great time to blow my nose if it would persist. It looks like it may persist. Oh, I don't think it will persist. I don't think it will. Whatever. So, yeah. So on this trip to West Virginia, it was really close to the Japan trip. So, like, I went to West Virginia, I get back, then there are 2 days, and after those 2 days, I'm off to Japan. Right? And that's kind of horrifying. But, whatever. So, I went, what other things happened on this trip? Well, so my Nana was driving us to the site that we were going to spread his ashes. It was like this really nice, like hiking trail on the river. And so we went down to the river at a spot that he really liked and spread his ashes. And everybody said some really beautiful things. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Before this, was this before? Or was this the day after? No, this was the day before. So the day before, everybody showed up to my Nana's house to say hi. And just to, like, kind of hang out, I think. And, I met my cousin Dov for the first time while he's been, like, a human. Because he's going into 4th grade, you know? And he has a little brother named Felix, but, like, I didn't meet him, because he was just saying, like, oh, Skibidi Toilet, I like, my favorite Italian brain rot is, I don't remember what it is, but he had a favorite. And he loves gorillas. He thinks gorillas are so awesome. So, you know, that's cool or whatever. But I met Dov, and Dov is like a gamer. He's like, do you know what video game this is from? And we're like, no. Is it from Roblox? And he's like, no. And then he shows us the next screenshot. And it looks like a Five Nights at Freddy's game that I have never seen. And I'm like, is that a recent Five Nights at Freddy's game? And he's like, nuh-uh, that's Roblox. And I'm like, what the heck, you got me. And then I was like, Dov, what's your favorite video game? Guess what this guy says? Guess what he says? Guess what Dov says his favorite video game is? I mean, truly, unbelievable. He says, Hollow Knight. What? What? Dov is awesome. He's so cool. What are you talking about, Hollow Knight? When I was your age, my favorite video game was, like, Pokemon Diamond. I didn't have such a, for lack of a better term, base favorite video game when I was that age. Actually, that's not true. When I was that age, my favorite game was Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Which is, like, cool, but it's not like a gamer's pick. You know? Oh. So, it's like when I say Smash, it's like, oh yeah, of course you like Smash. Like, that's one of the games that all the kids your age really like. You know? Hollow Knight is like an indie game. Like, it's a niche indie game in like a gamer genre. It's a Metroidvania, and it's hard. I was like, wait, that game's hard. And he was like, yeah, I'm stuck on this boss. And I was like, okay, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know, I don't know if, I don't know anything about the boss that he's stuck on. I don't know how far he's in or whatever, but, yeah, he was like, and the sequel is going to come out this year, Silksong. And I was like, well, is it? And he was like, yeah, it's never going to come out. And I was like, what? Are you, legit? What the heck? This kid knows that they keep delaying Silksong? How long has he been, conscious and on the internet? Kids are becoming intelligent too young. And I've always said this. It's like when you see a young girl dressed really well and she has a full face of makeup on. It's like, who hurt you? Why do you have all these pressures on you making you want to look pretty right now? You're, supposed to be wearing friggin', bluey on your t-shirt. And you're out here, strutting it in a crop top, in a baby shirt or whatever. The kids are becoming aware too young. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking with, young Gen Z, right? I was thinking that with young Gen Z, and they were like, that's so cringe. And it's like, young Gen Z? How do you already know that's cringe? You're too young to recognize things as cringe. When I was your age, I was watching Pokemon in Real Life by Smosh, where he goes, Pikachu, use AK-47 attack! And then Pikachu gets out an AK-47, and he goes, Pikachu! And he shoots the gun, and he starts killing the Charizard or whatever. And, we thought that was the funniest thing ever. That was the craziest video. But you're like, oh my god, don't say that, that's cringe. How do you have that level of social awareness? It frightens me. But I'm thinking that Gen Alpha actually isn't doing that. Gen Alpha is being cringe. They're not recognizing it. They're just saying, yeah. They're saying unk. They're saying skibbity toilet. They're saying, they're saying dih, D-I-H, for dick. The youth, they're not shackled, is what I'll say. They're not shackled by cringe. So, if anything, I'm a little less worried about, the mental health of Gen Alpha, but I'm more worried about their social ineptitude. Because people talk about the Gen Z stare, where it's some Gen Z people will just stare at parts of the conversation when other people will move and use body language. Gen Z will just stare because they're socially inept off the back of COVID and being online too much. And Gen Alpha's going to be worse, man. You think the Gen Z stare is bad? Gen Alpha's going to just walk away. So that's frightening. But Dog, he's just me. His favorite game is Hollow Knight, and that's really cool. But, as I got to see him more and more, he was just very, very similar to me. It was really freaky. Because, he's my cousin, so he's my mom's brother's kid. And my mom always said that I had a lot in common with that brother. I'm named after him. Brad is his name. My middle name is Bradley. So, there's some genetic, I have some stuff to do with Brad in there, But, Dom is literally just the same kid as me. It's really freaky. He loved Pokemon. I asked him who his favorite Pokemon was, and he said, Kartana. But he described Kartana. He couldn't remember their name. It's like an origami man. He's a grass steel type. Frankly, very cool Pokemon. Not what I want Dog's favorite Pokemon to be. I think it's a mistake. I think we could have given Dog a plushie of a Pokemon at a very young age that was weird. We could have, like, given him a Scolipede, and he would have loved Scolipede forever, you know? So that's a missed opportunity. But, you know, it's okay. And we were, like, just talking, and everything he said was like, wow, you really sound like me. He was, like, you know, kind of, like, quizzing on, like, game stuff, and he, like, very clearly liked to learn a lot about the things that he likes, and he was like, you know, like, why did he know that Silksong kept getting delayed? Like, where is he learning that, like, history from, you know? And why does he care about it? And then he watched the Donkey Kong Direct, and he was like, did you watch it? And I was like, I actually didn't watch it, so I didn't get spoiled. Because I'm, you know, I'm not trying to get spoiled for Donkey Kong. And so, yeah, like, oh god, I'm yawning! You know, he was like, oh, well, listen, I'm not going to spoil you, but I just want you to know that at some point he turns into a zebra. I was like, what? Secretly, I was like, why would you spoil that? But also, like, I saw a little bit of the trailer. I know that he has, like, powers or whatever. So it's okay. But, you know, he just, like, he was so interested in, like, learning about Pokemon and stuff, and, like, doing quizzes and whatnot. And then we went to this lake to, like, have lunch, to eat, have a picnic. And when I was there, Dog, like, got a bunch of rocks in his shoes, because he was wearing, like, knockoff Crocs, you know? He was wearing, like, these knockoff Crocs, and rocks kept getting in him. And just the way that he responded was, like, it was, like, autistic, you know? In the same way that I would have responded at that age to getting rocks in my shoes. He was like, you know, he got rocks in his shoes and they were, like, pretty hot, so it, like, hurt. And he was like, what do I do? Which is totally what I would have done. I would have yelled, what do I do? As, like, a little kid. And then they're like, can you walk to the side? And he was like, no! I can't walk. It hurts so much every step. And, like, the wording he used and the things he said, like, everything, one for one. Like, this is my childhood. Like, the stories I tell about when I would get hurt are just their dogs. Like, we are the same fella. It's really freaking weird. And the next day, when we were, like, hiking to spread the ashes, he scraped his knees, and he starts crying. But you can tell that he's not hurt that bad. He's just totally panicking. And then he's like, it really hurts here. And it's like, dude, the fact that you can describe it in so, like, he's describing it so succinctly and so perfectly, like, exactly what is hurting and where, and how much each thing hurts compared to one another. It's, like, clear that it's not that bad, you know? So they were like, yeah, it's not that bad, right? Like, you're okay. And then they tried to clean it a little bit, and he, like, is freaking out, and, like, just everything he did was exactly like me. It was really weird. Like, one-to-one, he was exactly the same as I was at that age. So freaky. And then, you know, this is my favorite thing ever, was later, when they had left, my mom got a video from Brad, and the video is, like, Brad is aiming the camera at Dog, and he's like, hey, Dog, like, please say that again? And he's like, I want to learn more about Pokemon from Jack, because he's the Pokemon master. Yes, bro! I am! That's right! I am the Pokemon master! That's freaking right! That's friggin' right. So awesome. So awesome. So that was just an absolute treat, right? That was an absolute treat. Just the best. I wonder... Sorry, my brain went really fast. I was thinking Pokemon Master, and then I was thinking... I talk about Pokemon a lot on the PEGCAST, and then I was thinking about how last time I did that thing where it was like the realistic Pokemon team, and then I was thinking about like if I like, because there was this guy who posted one and he had 3 Pokemon, and he was like, and that's all the Pokemon I would have, because realistically I wouldn't be able to handle more than that. And it's like, that's not the point of the trend, and you're ruining it. And then I was thinking like, well, what if the reason I could only think of 4 Pokemon last time was that I haven't caught the next 2 Pokemon left. Like, I have a lot more of my life left, you know? Maybe I just haven't, like, caught them yet, you know? Maybe I wouldn't have caught them. And then I was like, well, what if I caught one in Japan? And then I was like, if you catch a Pokemon in Japan, like, let's say you catch a P-Dove, because there are pigeons there. Does the P-Dove, like, understand when you speak to them? Like, when does the P-Dove begin to understand human speech? Do they begin when they're caught? Or do they begin before that, and they already understand everything when they're caught? And in that case, does this P-Dove only understand Japanese? Can I not catch a P-Dove in Japan? You know? So, that was what I was thinking about. But yeah, so Dawes, like, he was cool, man. It was really cool to see, like, a miniature version of me. And I just wish that, like, you know, if we lived closer to one another, I would like to play games with him, and I would be, like, the coolest cousin ever, bro. I would be so sick. I would play video games with him, and he would be like, whoa, that's cool. I'd be like, yeah. I'd have a Pokemon battle with him, because he beat Pokemon Sword and Shield or whatever. I think he did. I think that's the game he beat. And so I would beat him to the dirt with my team for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Because it's a skill diff. You know? And then he would be like, wow. Or he would be like, I didn't win. Then I would be like, ha ha ha. Can't beat me, I'm the Pokemon Master. That's right. Oh, oh, oh. You know? I would show him Batpeg, and he would be like, this is boring, I'm going to watch Mr. Beast. But yeah, you know. I gotta put Dom on to, like, Alpha Rad, you know? I gotta put him on. Dom doesn't know. There are good gaming videos out there. He probably does know. He probably doesn't watch Alpha Rad, but he probably watches, like, one of the new-gen Pokemon guys, you know? I don't even know who they are. I was watching Super Skarmory as a kid. Dude, is Super Skarmory even around? Is Super Skarmory uploading? I gotta merge. I watched Super Skarmory, and then I watched, like, Chugga Conroy. I don't think Dawes could watch Chugga Conroy. I think he would get bored. But man, Chugga Conroy, I watched so much Chugga Conroy as a kid. And Dawn is, like, getting close to the age when I found out about competitive Smash. Because I think I found out, like, well, I found out, like, in 2013, 2014. I think actually 2014, not 2013 at all. And what, 2025 now? So that was 11 years ago. And I just graduated from 16th grade. So 16 minus 11 is 5. And he's going into 4th grade. So he's 1 year before he's about a year and some change before I found out about competitive Smash. And so, maybe he'll be a gamer. Maybe I'll show him the ropes. Maybe he'll play Smash, and then he'll find out that it's actually free in Epic. Brad keeps saying he just can't wait until they're old enough to play FIFA because he wants to play FIFA with them. Girl, that kid doesn't want to play FIFA. Like, maybe he's really into soccer, but I don't know. Oh, also he's like good at chess. Isn't that crazy? He's like young. He's good at chess. He's like me. I wonder if he takes joy in the same things in chess that I would. Like I would take more joy in like finding a clean checkmate than winning. I would take more joy in like playing a clean mid-game than like doing a quick like sneaky checkmate, oh shoot. No, I stay here, right? I think I stay here and then I go right after, right? Yes, okay. This one's so confusing. But yeah, so Dodd is just like cool, man. I don't know what to say. He's just pretty sick. So yeah, on that day on the day where we spread the ashes, after we spread them, we went to Abigail's place, my cousin, because she has a new apartment, and it was like a good place for us to all hang out and spend some time together. And while we were driving there, we were told to tell them what we wanted as our sandwich orders. And we were like, oh, okay. And I'm looking at the menu. Dude, this place is like equivalent to Marciel's. It's not as like healthy, I don't think. Like my sandwich did not have a bunch of sprouts in it, That's not the vibe. But it was so unbelievably good. This sandwich is crazy. I want to eat it now. I want it right now. It was so freaking good. And there were like 7 other sandwiches that all would have been that good, Like everyone got a banger sandwich. Every single person. Just an amazing sandwich place. I don't remember what it was called, which is like sad. But dude, I wish I was there right now eating that sandwich. It was so delectable. It was so delicious. And then, we go to Abigail's apartment, see what's up. And, sorry, I'm getting a napkin to, wipe my nose a little. I'm trying to blow my nose. I'm pausing the recording. I'm blowing my nose. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go. I blew my nose. That's so exciting, guys. Yeah, so I ate the yummiest sandwich literally I've ever had. That's not true. Well, it might be. I think it was equivalent to the yumminess of the California. I think it was equivalent in yumminess to the Marciel sandwich I eat. Seriously, I mean, it's a different kind of sandwich. It's not like a avocado, sprouts, whatever. It was grilled and it had cheese and more yummy, less healthy breakfast meat, or not breakfast meat, deli meat on there. Just a freaking insane sandwich. And So, oh God, where am I? Okay, I'm good. So, God, I just can't stop thinking about that sandwich. I'm so hungry. Today, on this Wednesday, wrap and grilled cheese peg came out. And dude, I freaking want both of those foods right now in my mouth. Cammie's freaking grilled cheese is so yummy, and Cammie's wrap is, I think, personally, of equivalent yumminess to the Maciel sandwich and this other sandwich I'm talking about. Cause it's got like, it's got crunchiness to it. Hello! I think my recording died. I think it didn't work. I'm not sure where it went out, but it must have been really recent, because it was working up until I blew my nose, I think. And I think it worked after that, and I just received a call from my mom, so I assume that's when it happened. I was talking about the wrap that Cammie made, because today is the day that Wrap and Grilled Cheese Peg came out, and I'm obsessed with this sandwich that is just as yummy as the Maciel's one. Wrap and Grilled Cheese Peg is the PEGCAST that aired today, and, Wrap and Grilled Cheese Peg is, oh, right, and I wish that both those foods were in my mouth right now is what I'm saying. Cammie's grilled cheese is so good, and it makes me just feel so in love the way that she, really, she cares for me when she makes food, Like, she's thinking about how the food could be yummiest for my taste, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Another thing I love about my pediatrician, my doctor, is that, like, she loves Cammie and I. She thinks we're, like, the sweetest, cutest little couple ever, So that's pretty awesome. Love that. She was like, at your age, like, you've been together that long, you're basically, like, a friggin' 50-year-old, or, like, 50 years married couple. And I was like, yeah, we are. Yeah. So, what am I saying? I got lost in the sauce. I thought about a bunch of other things that happened at my doctor's appointment that are irrelevant, and not interesting. Actually, what's interesting is I didn't take my clothes off. I didn't have to wear, like, a robe, like one of them paper robes. I didn't have to do it. I just wore my clothes. And I'm wearing my Meow Fresh shirt. She was like, is this from Japan? I was like, oh, he's from Sailor Moon. His name is Rhett Butler. And this shirt, they printed it off-center, but it's like one of my worst shirts, but I feel like it adds because it's already so ugly. I'm coughing, guys. Watch out, volume warning. So, yeah. She liked it. She liked my shirt. So Cammie's wrap was so delicious. It's like, it's got some crunch to it. The wrap is kind of warm, right? And it has kale in it, and the kale wasn't, like, cooked, so it's kind of cool, and it's really nice. But then you'll bite into the tofu, and it's, like, warm, and it feels like I don't know, it just fills it's like, you just bite straight through it, and it's so soft, and it's warm, and it's so, like, insane. Like, it's my favorite. I've never liked a food because of the texture this much. Like, maybe literally ever. Except, like, Brandon's mom would make me udon. Brandon Selden's mom would make me udon. When we were, like, besties, and I would go hang out at his place all the time. And that I also liked because of the texture. But it was flavor, too. Well, this is flavor, too. But the texture is insane. This is my favorite texture combination food. Because udon, I just like the squishy noodle, But this, I like. The crunch is insane. When you bite into the warm tofu, it's insane. I love tortilla. Like, dude! Oh my goodness! I like, truly, I just want the wrap so bad. I'm not done thinking about the other sandwich. It's so delicious. The only other good vegan sandwich I've really had, like really good one, is from, I don't even remember what this place was called, but I went to a Smash tournament. I went to a Melee tournament on my birthday, literally. My dad and I entered doubles because it was our birthdays, because my dad has the same birthday as me. We entered Ultimate Doubles, and we told them, we were like, it's our birthday. And they were like, what? And we were like, yeah, we have the same birthday, that's why we entered doubles. And they were like, what? That's crazy. And then it was really fun because it was like an opportunity to play serious 2v1s. And that's not to say that my dad was throwing or bad, but he was obviously not the best player at the setup. He was obviously the worst player at the setup. And, you know, he would, like, hold his own for a little bit, but he would lose before I did and before both the others did. So it left me in situations where I would have to fight 2v1. And I would, like, see, like, their strategy for fighting 2v1 was terrible. Like, they did not know how to play 2v1. I know how you're supposed to play 2v1. Like, there are some very simple rules that you can follow that make it such that 2v1s are nigh unlosable, you know? Like, barring just, like, real, like, constant mistakes and the other person playing perfect. And they don't follow these rules. So I'm having a great time trying to beat them 2v1. And I'm doing pretty well, but the gap is just, like, too overwhelming to get past, you know? But that was a great tournament. Anyways, near there, which I think is Oceanside, there was a vegan sandwich shop near the beach. And maybe it wasn't called Oceanside. I think it was called Beach something. I don't remember. But, dude, this vegan sandwich shop, they had, like, a vegan sub. Like, a vegan meatball sub. It was crazy. And I guess that would actually be easy to make, right? Like, if you just get some, like a loaf of bread that's kind of like that, like a baguette type of bread, then you just put some meatballs and some red sauce in there. That actually sounds not very difficult to make, but it was really good. And I ate it, I think, 3 times in 2 days. Because there was not much other vegan food, and it was insanely yummy. And we saw S-Fat in there, and he's vegan. He's a pro. He signed the back of my shirt when I was wearing it. That's like a fun memory. At my first ever Melee major, my dad walked up to S-Bat and he was like, yo, S-Bat, can you sign my kid? And he laughed and he was like, that's the first time I've ever been asked to sign that. And he signed the back of my shirt. We were like huge fan. And it was really cool. It was awesome. That was a great tournament, man. Red Bull Gods and Gatekeepers. But anyways, that's the only other, like, really, really, like, crazy vegan sandwich place I've been to. That's not true. There was a place in Norfolk, Virginia, but this doesn't really count because it's like a breakfast sandwich. But there was a place called, I think, Muddy Fingers, or Muddy Paws? I don't remember. Sticky Fingers. It was called Sticky Fingers. And they made a mean vegan breakfast sandwich before anybody was doing that, you know? This was before people were making that kind of sandwich. Sticky Fingers was ahead of the game, okay? But anyways, my girlfriend makes sandwiches that are just as good for a fraction of the cost, and she teaches me how to do it, and then I could do it. Also, Cammy likes to put quinoa in the wrap so that it has a little bit of protein. And you, like, basically can't taste it, and it really doesn't affect the texture because it just ends up being in the sauce. Oh. This is interesting. I'm driving a different way than I normally do because I'm coming from a different spot, right? But where I'm driving past right now is like a highway entrance that I usually take. So I like really, really know where I am now. Like I could turn the GPS off probably. I won't, but I could. Oh man, I'm almost there. I'm so excited to see my girlfriend. So, yeah, when I was in Virginia, what else was I going to say? Oh, so, yeah, we cleaned out the whole VCR thing, or like the whole TV table, media center, and by we I mean I cleaned it all out, and then I was like, do you want this? Yes or no? Do you want this? Yes or no? So we cleaned out everything. She's going to try to just give it all away, which is sad, man. She can make a lot of money off of her VCR and her Blu-ray player, she can make like $100, you know, just for free. Like, you know, put it up on Facebook Marketplace, it's done. But whatever. So we donated a bunch of that stuff to Goodwill. All the weed stuff we took to Abigail, my cousin. She's doing real estate. She's actually like, she's cool, man. Her job is cool. And everybody was really impressed because I think, like, people didn't expect her to be so put together and, like, understanding of like, what her role is in her job, and, like, she understands it from, like, the bottom to the top. Like, every level of what she does, she totally gets, like, where it fits in. And, like, the history of, like, the thing that they're trying to get done, this project that they're trying to get done. She's doing commercial real estate. She's doing, like, the ethical one. And, whoa, man, I must have just, like, hit a little, like, pothole or something. My car wiggled like crazy town. So, yeah, it was really cool. Her place is sick. I didn't realize that she was, like, a weeaboo, but she had a bunch of anime stuff all over her walls. So, yeah. But she, yeah, we went to her place, that's all. She took the Wii stuff, so I gave her the 2 Wii remotes, the charging station for them, because Grandpa had these, like, Energizer rechargeable battery packs that go in a Wii remote. Wait, why don't I do that? Oh, because I don't like the back. I don't like how the back feels. Right. So I gave her 2 Wii remotes minus 1 wrist strap that's on my phone. And all the games, basically. Gave her all the games. And we cleaned out all the other stuff. Then Nana was talking about these kayaks. She has kayaks in her garage that she just, like, desperately wanted to be gone, you know? And she couldn't do it. And she wanted Andy, who's, like, my uncle who lives closest. My mom has 2 brothers, Brad and Andy lives closer than Brad. But regardless, Brad and Andy have both been, like, kind of out of commission because of different, like, you know, physical ailments that have disabled their ability to bring down these kayaks. So, it was me. I was going to do it, right? So, I find that they're hanging up in the, like, from the ceiling in the garage. So, they're, like, 2 hooks, one at one end and one at the other end of the kayak, right? And it's just hanging. And I have to unloop it and then bring it down from both sides. And I'm the only one that can do it. Nana can't do it because she can't do it. She's not tall enough and she's old. And Mom can't do it because her arm, like, can't go that high. Because she has, like, a connective tissue disorder where it's really stretchy, so her arm will pop out of socket. It's horrible. Actually, Abigail has it too, although to a much less severe degree. So, you know, I would walk up and unhook one. It's really high up there, you know, and my mom would desperately try to help, and I was begging her, literally begging, to not help, and she couldn't help it. And this is the only time we fought the whole trip. She would just not stop helping him. She's like, I'm just trying to help. And I'm like, I know, and I'm just begging you not to. Like, it will be much easier if you don't help. Please. And so she was like, okay. And then we figured it all out, and everything went well. So I, you know, would bring one end down, and then move it, like, around so that the other end, when I brought it down, like, the middle of the kayak, when it dropped, wouldn't hit anything. Because there's a bunch of stuff in the garage, too. And the kayaks are hung above that stuff. So, I had to, like, really maneuver it, you know, but it worked out. So, I would take out a kayak, and, and I had bought, from Uniqlo, this, like, jacket, right, that, I bought this jacket. It's like a UV protective jacket, and a hat, like a bucket hat, for Japan. And I wanted to try wearing them in the heat. So I wore them while I did this. And so I'm like, jacket on, hat on, pulling the kayak down, and then pulling it out the back, and then around the side of the house all the way up to the front. And I'm like pulling it along the floor, right? Because it's on the grass, it's fine. And we pull it up to the front. There are 3 kayaks. So I finally get all 3 kayaks done. It was a lot of work, and it was hot, you know? And I hadn't eaten almost anything that day at that point. So I was just like dying, you know? Actually, I may have literally not eaten anything that day at that point. But, you know. Y'all, did I get scammed on Kickstarter? I'm just realizing it's been a long time since I heard from this Kickstarter. Maybe it was supposed to ship in July, though. Maybe it isn't supposed to have shipped yet. But there was like a vegan candy Kickstarter that was like going around everywhere, and I was like, hey Mom, do you want to back this together? She was like, yeah. Oh. Well, regardless, we moved the canoes up to the kayaks up to the front, and put a for sale sign out front. Within 30 minutes, a dude rolls up to the front, and we walk out, say hi to him, and we're like, hey, like, you interested, basically? And he's like, yes. How much are you looking for? And we were like, well, we were thinking of asking for this. Do you think that, like, makes sense? You know? This is, like, a trusting area, I suppose, in West Virginia. Because we're not thinking we're going to get lowballed here. But the thing is, Nana says, like, even if she gets lowballed, she doesn't care. If someone came up and stole them, she wouldn't care. She just wants them gone. The money is a boon, a benefit. And Nana gives this guy the rundown. It's like, I want $700 total. And the guy's like, dope. Or maybe it was $800. Because it was like, I don't remember. It was $700 or $800 for the 3, and it was a good deal based on how much they had been more. It was reasonable, I think, based on what everybody was saying. Like, everybody seemed happy, and I think the guy made an extra $100 off his friend for like commission. I think he told his friend it was like $800, took $100 or something, you know. So he drives back up with his motorcycle because they had been talking about motorcycles or whatever. Because Nana was like, oh, yeah, my motorcycle. And we sold the kayaks. And then Nana was like, I'm so grateful, so happy. So she handed me $100. She was like, should I give you another 100 for Cammy? And I was like, no. Like, it's okay, I promise. You know? Because we were chilling. I have a lot of money that I received from people to go on this Japan trip. So I really didn't need that, but it was very sweet. And then I gave it to Mom. She said she would sell it to me, but she didn't. But she gave me so much money, and like sometimes she's just like, here's $100 for your gas and stuff, because I don't have a job. So, you know, I'm not gonna press her about it. Like, who cares, you know? Dude, I'm so hungry. All I'm thinking about is food. This one, because I've talked of the 3 sandwiches and the delicious wrap, this one will probably be like 3 Sandwichespeg. The 3 Fabled sandwiches. The 3 legendary sandwiches. Although, I would say only 2 of them are legendary, now that I'm thinking about it. But, so while I was there, I ate these like Gardein friggin' like pre-made meals. One of them was like pasta with meatball. That one was good, as obviously. The other one was Wait, shoot, what was the other one? I totally forgot. What? What was the other one? Oh, it was like beef and broccoli. And I wanted it so bad, because I had wanted Chinese food, like, with desperation, you know? Because, you know, and Tammy made me feel better about this. She was like, Chinese people just eat Chinese food every day, like, you know? And, like, when they come to America, like, she had a relative visit or something. It had been 2 days, and she was like, oh my god, I need my Chinese food, it's been so long. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's like normal to eat Chinese food like all the time, you know? And I just wanted it so bad, so I got beef and broccoli, knowing full well that it wouldn't be very Chinese. But, you know, it was enough. It was like one of the things that I kind of wanted. It's just like, yeah. So those are really freaking good pre-made meals. If you see those, they are not super filling, but as like a small lunch, I would compare them to like the Trader Joe's tikka masala. They're not as delectable as the Trader Joe's tikka masala, obviously, but they're good. They're not super filling, but they're good. They're about the same filling, is what I'm trying to say. I also found out that like Golden Curry, the brand, makes like a ready-made sauce that you just pour. And they have one with vegetables in it, and they have one with, like, soy meat in it. Like, what? Get me in there. I didn't realize that it existed. So, I'll probably get one of them. But, yeah. So, that's basically my West Virginia section of the story, right? Oh, yeah, and then I watched the Valorant finals. And I know you guys don't really care about this. This was the craziest finals I've ever seen, man. Like, it was, so the way they do it is, like, they have, like, an opener event of the year, that's its own thing. Then they do stage 1. And stage 1 is, like, every region, there are 4 regions, which is, like, the Americas, you don't care. There are 4 regions. Each of them plays each other. No, they play within themselves. They do 2 groups, and they play within themselves. And the top, like, 4 teams at the end of that stage, what they call a stage, stage 1, will move on to the international event. And so then you have these teams in every region. They play in playoffs, and then the teams that win playoffs qualify for Masters. And this is an event that is, that's like international, and it's held in a big arena in like a cool city. And they try to vary what city it is. So this one was Masters, Toronto in Canada. The one before that was in Bangkok, I think. And then there was one in Shanghai, I think? Whatever. Point is, so there was stage 1, Masters, stage 2, and then Masters Toronto was happening while I was there. So I was watching all the Valorant, like, a day late, but without getting spoiled, and I was watching the live stream. Actually did get spoiled for the finals, for who won, but I didn't get spoiled for, like, what happened. So I watched the whole thing, because, like, the fan favorite, everybody loves them team was in the finals, you know? And, it was so awesome. They, on the last round of one of the games, like, it was 12-11, I think. So, like, it's first to 13. And if it's 12-12, it goes to overtime. Like, the last possible moment they could have done this, they, like, call just an insane play, where they do, like, a combo of a bunch of abilities, where, like, they fly super far forward, and then, like, put a wall up, and they, like, go super high up, and see through a window that, like, you wouldn't even know is there. Like, no one has ever used this window for anything. And they fly through the window. That's not true. Some people use window for, like, camera, but whatever. They, like, send one person to peek through the window into mid, which is, like, never, ever, I've never seen it in my life. And it, like, wins them the game. It is the craziest, like, last ditch. How is it possible that they saved this strategy for, like, the very end of the whole game, like, moment? And it won them the game. Not the whole series, but they did win the series eventually. And it was just so cool. Like, just maybe the coolest moment in competitive Valorant, you know? Just so insane. Just a crazy awesome moment, and I'm so happy that I watched it. And then I came home, and it was time for me to join Dusty, Cammy, and Maya in book club pretty soon after. But I decided that I wanted to watch the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Right? Because I have been wanting to watch that movie for freaking ever. And, you know, I was about to go to Japan, and it felt like this was the last chance for me to watch it before I went. And I felt like I should. Because everyone says this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece film. And it's Haruhi, which I love, I'm very passionate about. And so I decided to watch it, and I will tell you guys about it next time, because I am pulling up right now, so this is just about going to be the end of this episode. So I want you to comment below, everybody, comment below, where is the best sandwich you've ever eaten from? I don't know if I can say it's Maciel's. It's Maciel's, but it's also this other second place. So maybe it'll be called the 2 Fabled sandwiches. Or 3 sandwiches, comma, 2 Fabled. No, that's really stupid. So, yeah. Tell me where your favorite sandwich you've ever eaten is from. What's the yummiest sandwich you've ever eaten? Where is it from? If you want to tell me what it is, and tell me what is so great about it too, you can tell me. If you're like, dude, I ate it, and they just grilled my freaking toast so good, they like, it was crispy, and you crunch through it, and then it's so good in there. Like, dude, I saw Dusty take a bite out of her freaking chicken pesto sandwich from Maciel's. Dude, it looked so good, and it crunched so delectably. It was insane. So, anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this episode. I'm going to leave you hanging on that cliff. I'm going to talk about the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. When I'm done talking about the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, I'm going to get to the Japan trip. I'm going to start talking about it. So, anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe, do all that great stuff. It's just good. Bye. No! This has probably been on Bluetooth the whole time! No, it is!